right, welcome back to another episode of the Karter Cast. I'm your host, Karter Baughan. With me, as always, Dylan, Connor. We're back. We had Mark and Philly on last week. No recap shows. You can see the episode comes out early this week. It's Thanksgiving week. It's feast week, guys. This is it. This is the week we've been waiting for. Dylan and I, Connor and I, all of us here, we got Panthers, Titans. We've got Michigan, Ohio State. We'll finally figure out roughly what the college football playoff will be. We're finally figuring out the NFL playoffs. We've got Feast Week. Dylan, anti-Feast Week, turning into anti-Karter, actually. This is anti-Karter propaganda you're putting out here.
What's the problem with that, though? What you're saying is that I'm not anti-college basketball. I'm anti-college basketball while football is still like right now in college basketball, there are no conference games. It's all out of conference. You got your Maui Invitationals, you got your Champions Classic, which isn't even really a Champions Classic because you got like the 18th ranked team in the nation playing. I mean, what are we doing here? It's amateur hour in college basketball right now.
No. Feast Week is like the second or third best sports week of the year when you include everything. You get maybe the best sports week of the year, you could argue. You got college basketball, you got college football, NFL, NBA, even soccer's even on there. I know how much you love soccer, Dylan.
Cricket World Cup's over, so I don't care. We're going to have the best week of sports, not include cricket.
We lost European Dylan.
Can I say real quick, shout out Australia, Cricket World Cup champions, took down heavy favorite India last Wednesday. It was huge. Big moment for the Aussies.
And you've been celebrating that with your Xbox game, Cricket 22, right?
Yes. So I got my 2 terabyte hard drive, external hard drive. I've been downloading games out the wazoo. Assassin's Creed. I've been downloading horror games, and Cricket 22 is now on the rotation. That's like
made the cut.
Break in work.
Okay.
The problem is with that, cricket matches can be anywhere from 8 to 10 hours long. So I really got to find a big break in my day to finish a game.
All right, there we go. That's talking cricket on the podcast. All right, so this week, anyhow, every day, college basketball picks going up on cartercast.com. Dylan, you should be appreciative because we're not even doing college basketball content yet on the podcast, so you don't have to listen to it. You can just read it. It's on the website, cartercast.com. We're putting picks out there every day. You're listening right now. We're recording right now Monday, 3:30 Eastern. You're listening on Tuesday. You're like, oh my gosh, Karter went 3-0 last night. Purdue, so sharp. Texas, even sharper. UCLA, so sharp.
Well, I think my view on college basketball would be different if I got invited to be on the college basketball shows. It's always in the group chat. Hey, Connor, are you ready to record college basketball episode? Well, I'm over here just watching Snoopy and chilling out, and I'm like, oh, maybe I want to be on a college basketball.
You were on the March Madness show. You were on the March Madness show.
Oh, I was leftovers because Connor couldn't be on. I mean, let's keep in mind, I was wearing my Vegas Golden Knights jersey. I remember it vividly, and you were like, "Oh, Connor, hey, March Madness, come on, let's do it." I can't do it today.
I think maybe you're becoming anti-college basketball because Michigan stinks.
3-1, right?
3-1. Did you see who you lost to?
Yeah, bad loss.
Long Beach is good. I made plenty of coin on them last year. I made plenty of coin.
Dylan, it's a give and take, Dylan. You got to give some positive college basketball propaganda, get the word out there that you're back for college basketball. Maybe that invite gets extended a little bit. We don't want somebody on the show that's gonna, little trash college basketball.
Dylan, how about we have a tryout? You have to put out one college basketball picks blog. You have a winning record, you're on.
Okay, deal.
Oh my god!
This week?
It has to be a minimum of 3 picks, right?
3.
You have to go 2 and 1.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can make strides there. My problem is I pay for KenPom and I try to do the research and then I just lose every bet. And I'm like, what's the point of this? Like at that point, football, it's fun, right? Basketball, it's not fun and I lose. So then it's like double not fun. And then you don't ask me to be on the shows and it's triple not fun with fear of missing out.
You're not factoring in the dog factor in your college basketball picks. That's the problem.
I need a dog ranking. Are we doing that this show? Do you have your dog rankings?
I don't have them finalized. I started it and it's not fully done. Do we need
it's
them?
In the lab.
I mean we can I can give you the rough draft of the dog rankings.
I think we might need the rough draft of the dog
Okay,
rankings.
we'll do that.
Do a final before the playoffs.
Let's do that at the end of the NFL segment. How about that?
Okay. All right.
All right, a little quick rundown on the show today. Make sure to check out all the college basketball picks, cartercast.com. Also, we need to get the manifestos out before Feast Week. If you're planning on betting college basketball this week, we have 5 rules. 5 rules here on the cast. Number 1, if you can't name the team's mascots, you can't bet the game. I think that's a fair one. I think that's a big one during Feast Week. Number 2, if the game's on Flow Hoops, it's like $90 a month to have Flow Hoops. You don't bet the game. It's like crappy college basketball.
That is steep.
Terrible. If the game starts after 11 p.m. Eastern time, you can't double down on previous units. So let's say you already had 1 unit on like Hawaii. You can't have 2. You can't double down to chase. 4, fade UNC of their opening game. No matter what, it's the easiest play in the world. Happens every year. And then 5, don't bet on the NBA.
I can't follow the 5th rule. I'm addicted to player props, Carter. I don't know what it is. They've got me in a chokehold. Feast Week for me is, Darius Garland points and assists tonight. That's the Feast Week for me.
Feast Weeks for me, Texas plus 6.5 against UConn.
Okay. I like it.
Anyhow, that's talking college basketball. We're done there. We're going to start in the NFL, then we're going to do college football. We got Michigan, Ohio State to talk about over there. We got picks, parlays, and we're going to do a Thanksgiving draft at the very end of the show today. Let's start it off, though. NFL. We had a bad week for the podcast with, talking about our teams playing. But it's going to be a great week this week for one of us, or I guess maybe 2, because I guess 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3. Panthers, Titans. Titans -4, over under 37 in Nashville. This is the game that nobody in national media is going to cover. This is the game every podcast, every show is going to like, skip over that. They're done. They're tanking. This is our Super Bowl now. The Titans, they're technically in the hunt, but they're really on the outside of the playoff picture. They're kind of looking towards next year, looking towards the future. Panthers, dead. Done. Dead dog, everything you named, dead. Panthers are dead. Coach, dead. Everything dead. This is our Super Bowl, though.
I don't know if you guys get to say that this is your Super Bowl, because a couple weeks ago it was your Super Bowl against the Texans and Stroud.
You can have 2 Super Bowls in a year.
And that didn't go super well, so now it's like, we got to move the
goalposts
again.
Okay,
it didn't go great, but
Dylan. So the Texans Super Bowl, or the Texans game, was Panthers fans Super Bowl. The Titans Panthers is this podcast Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Because the shame I will have on Sunday night showing up, logging into the Riverside recording, and the Panthers lose against the Titans, that shame is going to be ridiculous. But now I know what I'm going to do is, if the Titans do beat the Panthers, I'm going to just nitpick stats. So, like, there's no tomorrow. Like,
sure,
if let's say the Panthers outgain them, oh gosh, that's almost better than win.
If the Panthers had less penalty yards, that is going at the top of the show. I mean, that will be absolutely A block. Carter, if the Titans come out and beat us, fine, so be it. But if Will Levis has a good game, I might not be on the show. I might just be busy and I'll blow weekend. I don't know.
I will accept my apologies. We can talk about the game right now. It's Titans -4. I see 3.5 on some books.
Mm-hmm.
It's Panthers +4 season. It's Panthers +4 season.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a bit. I think you're just playing it up. So we got to chill with the Levis talk.
Okay. Real quick, Dylan, before you keep going, I was going to say it's going to be a 5-star play, 5-unit play. Those have been eliminated after Oregon State. Till Christmas, till Santa comes, no more 5-unit plays for me.
Carter, I told you it's not easy, this 5-star business. There was some show you came rattling around about all these plays and I don't
like doing 5 stars. I need to maybe if I come up with a new name, then I can do it. How about that? We rebrand. It's like, instead of Searamus, it's Starry.
We should workshop that. I do also want to bring to everybody's attention, I don't want to get too far off track here, but Mr. Big 12, West Virginia, Cincinnati, 5-star over. Line moved out of our favor. Doesn't matter. Holy cow. Cash. And that was my parlay pick, by the way. But
Arizona -1 against someone here loves Utah, huh? Arizona.
Well, Cam Rising.
Utah.
National championship back, baby. We're back.
Look, we'll talk college football next. We got NFL right now. This is the game. This is the game of the year for this podcast. We talked about this in August, Dylan. Panthers, Titans. We actually there was a really high chance we were going to get like Willis and Tannehill versus Bryce Young. Or even if Bryce Young, like, it's a miracle he stayed healthy with how bad the offensive line is. It's even a miracle Will Levis is staying healthy with how bad his offensive line is. In the matter of 2-3 games, we get it. We get Will Levis versus Bryce Young. 2 horrendous offensive lines. Horrendous. Fun front sevens, terrible pass defenses. What is your thoughts going into the game?
So it is really interesting we're getting this matchup. Keep in mind, we're recording on Monday. Things could change here. I think Levis, even though he hasn't been winning games, he's been playing well enough to keep that starting position. Like, you see they lost to the Jags, but 150, 160, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a great passer rating, to be honest with you. So it's like you're piecing things together here, and I know we like to go at each other. Levis really hasn't looked that bad. I expected him to be worse. Young, on the other hand, if you want my honest opinion, the dude's racking up pick sixes like they're going out of style. I mean, what was that, 3 or 4 on the year? And we're looking at 7 sacks, 42 yards lost against the Cowboys. Levis's archetype is not escaping pressure. That's why having a bad offensive line hurts him so bad. That's Young's archetype. Escape the pressure. And I'm not going to say the MTP phrase. I'm not going to say MTP, but he needs to be MTP.
Don't say those words.
He needs to be MTP.
Dylan, I need you to look.
That needs to be our next. That needs to be one of our first merch stuff. Is make the play.
I got a guy. Shout out Fred Rogers on Texas Twitter. He said he'll buy a Pump the Brakes shirt.
Oh, Pump the Brakes is a good one. Yeah, Pump the Brakes is a good one. We can get a little graphic design on that.
But
Dylan, I don't know if you've seen the Carolina Panthers offensive line grades from this past weekend. It's pretty bad. A lot of red on there. I mean, you talking about Christmas? A lot of red on there. Not much green. Maybe like one green sprinkled in. No green, all red. This game, sneaky here. Total's 37. Both teams are struggling to put up points, but this might just be the game where there's a pretty decent amount of points. I like the over. I like the over in this game. I think so too. Carolina's secondary, terrible, banged up. Practice squad guys left and right on that defense. I think Levis will have a decent game, and if he doesn't, then you better not show up, Dylan. But I think he'll have a decent game. Carolina's defense is terrible. I think Bryce Young might come out and dice up that Titans secondary as well. It might be, 24-28 range for both sides. Who knows?
You know what would be great? If both of these quarterbacks came out with like 400-yard games against each other, like 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and
we could all be happy.
Gets annihilated by the Jaguars and throws like 2 pick sixes. I think that might be the dream performance. Also, Dylan, I think you sneaky want to lose this game.
Why is that?
I think you guys need to be in the tank.
I'm not. I don't do the tank thing. There's conversations that Vrabel out in Tennessee if they lose this game.
Oh, that would be great. And then he could go to Carolina.
I want Vrabel.
Carolina. Oh, that would be great. Vrabel to Carolina. Let's start that rumor.
I think he'd go to New England, but that's just we don't have to get too deep into those talks. But I think he'd be next up there.
Can I throw a conspiracy at you?
I am always for
tinfoil hat.
It's not a conspiracy. It's more of a prediction.
Okay.
Marvin Harrison to the Titans.
That would be awesome. I'll be honest. That would be awesome. I would not be against that.
You would flip all your discourse about Ohio State and instantly become a fan.
Well, wide receivers is different, I think.
Guys. I've came on this show plenty of times. I've said Ohio State wide receiver university. That's why their quarterbacks look so good. We cannot start this slander, right? But the difference is between, last year I was so against CJ Stroud. I would be so for Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr. would not be the offense would not be centered around him. Like a quarterback, the offense is passing through his hands every play. Marvin Harrison Jr., we still have Treylon Burks. We still have, hopefully, DeAndre Hopkins. Hopefully, Derrick Henry. Probably Tajay. Like, we can make that work. We can make Marvin Harrison Jr. fit into the scheme of the Titans offense.
I love how this game has 0 implications on the grand scheme of things. Yes, it could matter for the Titans draft pick, or maybe if the Panthers win, it messes up the Bears a little bit, which would be great because I really just don't want to give the Bears a top 2 pick. Top 3, fine.
And that's what's going to happen, though. That's what's going to happen, Karter.
We're by far the worst team, Connor.
I think so too. I mean, what? 3 or 4 weeks ago?
Say that.
3 or 4 weeks ago, we were like Broncos worst team. Broncos. They're 500 now.
The Giants, they won a game. The Giants won a game with Tommy DeVito.
3 touchdowns.
I will say, I think Vegas had their hands around that game. They're like, "Hey, Tommy, let's put some steroids into you." All of a sudden, this guy can throw the ball. When did this happen?
All of a sudden, they sneak in the middle of the night, dressed in all black, and mom's chicken cutlets are on the counter, and it's just a little PED injection for breakfast the next day. Who knows?
Anyhow,
yeah.
Dylan, if there ever was a week to do a punishment, I think this is it. I know you could say, "Oh, our punishment would be having to come on the show." That is bad enough, but should we extend it? Now, the issue is, if we do this, I think I get Panthers with the points. I don't think I should have to do the money line.
Whoa. Let's pump the brakes there, Karter. We agreed to this way back in July. This is not a, oh, we're changing the description of the bet deal. This is, here's what I'll do, though. 3, 2, 1. If the Titans beat the Panthers, well, we haven't even talked about what the bet is. Karter, take it away. I was going to say something about the bet.
You go ahead.
Well, bet that we agreed on in July was that whoever is $100 straight up, whoever wins, right? If the Titans win this game, I will be giving away $50 of that winnings to anybody that retweets this clip. When the Titans win, that is how generous I am with my winnings.
If the Panthers win, I'll give away all of it.
I'll give away all of it too. I can't. Okay, I'll give away all of it. Yeah. I'll give away all of it.
Yep.
Christmas cheer, spreading the Christmas holiday cheer on this Kartercast episode.
Whoever retweets this, we'll do it random. But whoever retweets this at random, the winner gets $100. So if the Panthers win, well, how do we do this then? But
if you retweet it doesn't matter. You get $100.
Yeah, if you retweet it, you get it. Yeah, no matter what.
If your name gets picked. Now, I don't think Kartercast members can be included.
Oh, I'm sick next week for the show. Oh, man. Might have to put some PTO in.
So basically, whoever wins...
put in his resignation letter before the game starts.
If the Titans win, then you have to pay somebody $100. And if the Panthers win, I have to pay whoever wins $100.
We got a deal. All right, I love it. Anything else on this game, really? Genuinely talking about the game, what do you expect, Dylan?
I honestly don't know. To be honest, you guys are talking about over, under. I want to say over because the defenses are so bad. But then, if anything, I would lean over because the Titans always, these games don't matter. And yet the Titans are still trying to do stupid stuff. We saw it last week with the flea flicker down 30+. The touchdown pass to Jeffrey Simmons. They won't give up. I think that's, even if the Titans go down, they are not going to... they're going to have something up their sleeve. So I don't really know. I am not betting it, if that's what you're asking, aside from our bet, which is now for the viewers.
The only thing I have left on this game is I think the one positive we can take out of this game is if the Panthers do lose to the Titans is I think Frank Reich is 100% fired if they lose to the Titans. Because if you lose to the guy that you passed up on and then fell to the second round, you can't. And you're 1-10? 1-10 in your first season, it's done. It's a wrap. No coach ever comes back from being 1-10 and great in the NFL. I probably don't get the chance, but
so you don't even think he makes it a full year?
He shouldn't. Why should he?
I agree. He shouldn't. There's been nothing to show signs of improvement.
Because it's different. Because we talked about I hate. Obviously, I'm an anti-Matt Rule guy. I think Dylan's coming around on my anti-Matt Rule stuff. I think Matt Rule. That first season, we were competitive in those games. Yes, we had a little bit more talented roster, but we were competitive in all those games. We were a great team against the spread that season. We were in those games. We don't belong on the same field as any of these teams. The Cowboys
I agree.
Are running circles around us, but we've done enough. We've talked about the Panthers and Titans much too long. Let's move on to the good games. Thanksgiving. We have Thanksgiving games, 12:30 Eastern time. This is the game. You got your food around. If you're I don't want to say normal, but I feel like most people have the Lions game on while they eat, right? I think that's the Dylan?
Oh no.
We have an issue. I'm going to be with there are going to be people there at noon for that game that don't watch football. So that and I'm the last thing I'm doing. This could be a whole nother discussion. I'm not asking to turn it on. I'm not.
You're not taking the remote. You're not taking over the remote.
What are you doing?
No,
You
I
gotta.
can't, dude.
There's no way you can just like sneak in there while people are getting their food and turn it on, just like put it on mute and then sneak away.
We can cut this out, but why isn't it on in the background? It should just be on in the background. It's not a game you focus on in your life.
Mute it. Put it on mute.
Packers. It's in the background.
But it's not. First of all, very rarely is the TV on while you were eating. In this situation, but even after, like the only reason I could subtly bring it up last year was because when I was there, it was for the game that I wrote the article for, which was a big deal. Standalone Thanksgiving.
Have you gotten crewed out yet? Have you gotten crewed out?
Crewed out?
Picked for the game?
No, not yet. I don't think I will. I only got it last year because someone bailed and I stepped up. But I will say, wife minute here. There have been times where Abby just does it, and it's not me, and that's all time. That's all time move right there.
Well, that's the move. If you're at the other side of the family's house, that's what has to be done.
Yeah.
Maybe,
you always funnel into the spouse. Like if you got to funnel into the spouse. Be like, hey, like tell them you really want to watch this game. The thing is, they'll see right through it.
I can't be that guy because they know. If I say that everybody that's there knows that that's not the case. They're like, oh, it's.
I have an idea, Dylan.
Yeah.
Just tell them you have money on the game.
Yeah. That TV gets thrown out the window if that's the case. There is no more TV.
But then the next TV gets paid for.
Get a bigger one.
Yeah, we get a 75-inch. We upgraded from the 50-inch. Packers Lions games in Detroit. Lions -7.5. Over under 47. Look, the Lions, what the crap was that? Jared Goff played like 2020 Jared Goff. That was horrendous yesterday. Jordan Love wins a football game against the Chargers. Dylan, your Chargers takes looking fantastic because I just don't understand how they're that bad, but that's a different discussion about the Chargers we can maybe get into later. Lions -7.5. Connor, start us off on this one.
So first instinct before this week's games is on the look-ahead line. I took the Lions. I took them 7.5. I was like, I think the Packers are going to come out here. They're going to get beat by the Chargers, and I think the Lions are going to steamroll the Bears. Neither of those things happened. The Lions still 7.5. I think one of two things is going to happen here. I think the Lions are going to beat them by 3 scores, or the Packers win outright. I don't think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a close game if the Lions win. I'm leaning them with the 7.5, honestly, because I just don't believe in this Jordan Love team. But man, oh man, that Lions defense. I can't wait to bet against that Lions defense in the playoffs because they let Justin Fields look like Mike Vick yesterday. So I'm going to press on this one. Right now, I have a look ahead on the Lions right now, but I think I'm going to sprinkle the Packers money line as well. I think that's the play.
If you're a Lions fan, you got to do everything in your power to avoid playing a mobile quarterback. Like having to play the Eagles in the playoffs, they're toast. They cannot play against mobile quarterbacks. We saw it against the Ravens, saw it against the Bears. Nice pick, Dylan. Shout out. They can't go against these mobile quarterbacks. And so this is why I bring up this bigger discussion is I talked about the rebrand. We're going to rebrand the NFL Anytime Touchdown Parlay because it sucks. We've been terrible. Been awful. I think we do a Thanksgiving special, guys.
Ooh.
We pick a first touchdown in each of the games.
Ooh.
Okay. I like that.
So each of the 3 games we pick a first touchdown. And I'm going to put out 2 for this game. I want to hear what you guys think. My first one was Jordan Love plus 3,000.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be Jordan Love. Okay, what's the second one?
Okay. The second one was going to be Jameson Williams plus 1,700, but it's Jordan Love.
Yeah, I think it's Jordan Love.
Okay.
Connor's
Jameson not convinced.
I didn't want Jameson Williams. I didn't know we were doing like long shots. I was going to say like Shane Brown or somebody, but no, Jordan Love's fine. Jordan Love's cool.
Jordan Love, it doesn't have to be long shots, but the fact that they let these mobile quarterbacks kind of have their way. Yes, Justin Fields didn't score a touchdown, but he had over 100 yards rushing. Jordan Love is going to be he's going to move out of the pocket. We saw it against the Chargers yesterday. I'm not convinced on the 7.5. I don't want to get hooked on that touchdown either.
Yeah.
Yes, I also do love the fact, Connor, I agree with you on this with the Lions on that side, is that the Packers, they got that win yesterday. And then the Lions look so bad against the Bears. And this is the time to just take the Lions and just say, they're just the better team flat out.
At Ford Field. I mean, it's, in Detroit. So it's, I think it could get out of hand, too.
Sneaky was yesterday a look-ahead game to the big Thanksgiving game on Thursday. Some are saying. Dylan, go ahead.
So, Jordan Love looked actually pretty good. I've been pretty high on him all year. Obviously, this was against the Chargers defense, very bad. Brandon Staley goes on to say, hey, I'm calling the defense. I'm calling the defense.
Don't ask that question again.
Thank you. I mean, that is the biggest Thanksgiving gift you could have given me as a Chargers to miss the playoffs, Chargers under win total. All that to say, this Lions defense, not much different than the Chargers defense. Really bad. Yeah, Carter, you look at me like that, Carter. Really bad. And we can rewind a couple weeks.
I'm doing calculations in my head with Jordan Love. Keep going.
Okay. We can rewind a couple weeks. We go back to that Chargers-Lions game where it was just points. It was disgusting. I turned it off after the first quarter. But these defenses are extremely similar. I think Love has a similar type game to what he had yesterday. I love the Packers here. We need to start the narrative. I love they win. And this, I won't even be able to watch the game, just like I said, but I think they win.
Jordan Love preseason truth hype coming out here, Dylan.
This is my only bet. Well, I guess it's two, but money line and spread. Only bet for Thanksgiving is Packers.
Wow.
Nothing else. I do think they do it. I probably won't be able to watch the game, but I think that this is the Lions have their record is great, but keep in mind their only win against a team with a winning record was the Chiefs week 1 without Kelsey. They played the Ravens, they get blown out. They play the Seahawks, they lose. And everybody else they've beat they don't have a winning record. And I guess you could say the Packers don't have a winning record, but I expect some regression there. I think the Lions are great. I think they make the playoffs. They probably win the division, but I'm with you, Connor. Come the playoffs or a tough game, the defense can't stand up to anything. I love the Packers here. I think they win.
That was my main point. Is like this Lions defense. Can't wait to bet against them in the playoffs. But doesn't this just feel like primetime Thanksgiving, 12:30, first game of the day, millions of viewers, and the Lions come out and just make a statement, just a smash spot? And it just doesn't feel like that to you?
I don't know why it would feel like that when they've never done it before, ever.
Exactly. They're due. They want to prove themselves as a legitimate team. You know, Dan Campbell's got the boys rallied up. Time to put on a show for America, show them we're the real deal. And then in the playoffs, I'll bet against them. But I really think they could come out here and win by double digits.
Didn't you just say that you were going to couple your Lions look ahead with Packers money line?
Yeah, for like $5 maybe. Because then
you're talking about the Lions. You're talking about the Lions going out and doing this. I don't buy it. I am not buying it.
I can't believe I'm thinking this, but I think Dylan's talking me into the Packers money line.
Oh, no. I mean, fine. I'm going to put a little money on it, but come on.
I want to hear
Jordan Love.
Carter, what do you think?
Hey, Jordan Love first touchdown. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I also want to see Jordan Love rush yards because he showed in the Chargers game. He will scramble. He'll get out of the pocket, whatever. I agree with you, Dylan. I think we should, we always, I feel like for 4 straight weeks on the podcast, we did, are the Dolphins fraud talk? The Dolphins and Lions need to be put in the same conversation because they can't beat good teams. They've shown that. They play down to their competition, and they don't beat good teams. It's just proven that's what it is now. And I'm very nervous about the Lions. I'm beating a dead horse here, like you said, but they're kind of in that Seahawks, Chargers category where they're in the playoffs. You're kind of excited to bet against them at this point.
Yeah, that's the playoffs, not tomorrow. I'm standing my ground here. Screw the Packers money line sprinkle. I'm going back on that. We're going Lions -7.5. Dylan and Karter.
This is all because
I'm standing on it.
This is all because of our recap show a couple weeks ago, Dylan, isn't it?
Yep. I got sneak disc behind my back. I was trying to beat none of that anymore. 7.5 Lions. They might beat the Packers by 20. How about that?
We good to move on?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. If I had to make a play, it's Packers money line. It's Packers.
I love it.
Real quick, what about the over?
Yeah.
47.
Yeah, that's like right in that sweet spot where I don't feel comfortable with it.
It does seem like a 24-23, a little fun.
Yeah.
And the Lions win on a last-second field goal. Anyhow, Commanders, Cowboys. Cowboys -11 right now. Over under 48.5. Game in Dallas, the classic Thanksgiving game. The Commanders, they lose to the Giants, the crappy, stinky, butthole Giants. The Cowboys, they dominate the Panthers. But I will say about this game, going into it, the score lied a little bit. The Cowboys were not that impressive if you watch that game. Yes, they won 30+, whatever, to 10, and the Panthers are that bad. A lot of those scores came off of the Panthers shooting themselves in the foot, whether it was late hit penalties, roughing the passer penalties, turnovers, pick sixes. It was more so that rather than the Cowboys looking super impressive. The score line, yes, it looks great, all that. No, I was not 100% convinced on the Cowboys, more so than I was saying the Panthers are just a bad, dumb team in that game. The Commanders, you can't lose to the Giants. You can't. This is the all-time reverse fade yourself. Commanders plus 11 is the play here.
Dylan, if you want to see your worst nightmare, go look at the Panthers penalty yards, and especially on those a couple of drives where it was just late hit, roughing the passer, hands to the face.
It was 8 for 90, wasn't it? I feel like
it was something ridiculous.
It was 8 for 90 like that.
They were only down one score, and they dog walked them down the field and let them score another touchdown. There's stupid penalties, so don't look at the stats on that, Dylan, if you want to save yourself. This game, I mean, this is the perfect.
I'm ahead of you. They gave up 5 first downs from penalties. The Panthers gave the Cowboys 5 first downs from penalties.
And the game was still in contention.
And a lot of those were on third downs.
Yeah,
exactly.
Third and longs, or they had them stopped, and there was just some dumb, unforced play that really had nothing to do with the play. Like the late hits and the stuff out of bounds, you got them. I don't know. It was very frustrating.
That's the worst as a fan of a team that like rooting or betting for a team that does that stupid stuff is one of the most frustrating things. I sympathize with you there.
Back to the Panthers real quick. That's the epitome of that's the coaching problem. That's a coaching problem. They're just dumb. They're just dumb, and it's bad coaching. I'm done talking about the Panthers.
It is.
Commanders, Cowboys, Connor, talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me why Sam Howell is going to lead this team and win the game outright.
I think Sam Howell
might die on the field.
They need to have 7 people in protection at all times and just try to, get a receiver in 1-0-2 covers. Micah Parsons might have 3 sacks. This number's, it's too big for me to bet, I think, as far as like the plus 11, minus 11 side. You look at Dallas' schedule, they killed the Rams, killed the Giants, killed the Panthers, and then in between that, lost to the Eagles. So you're like, oh, they've beaten 3 bad teams. Surely they're due for a slip up where they don't cover. They haven't done it. They've beat the brakes off these bad teams. They've done it convincingly. And so I can't sit here and say this Washington team, even though I love Sam Howell, they can't protect him. They just lost to the Giants. They're trending in the wrong direction. So I can't sit here and say they're going to come out motivated against this Dallas team who's done nothing but whip up on lower competition. And even with these huge spreads, they've covered. They covered 17.5 against the Giants, covered 11.5 against the Panthers, covered the 7 in LA. They've covered these big spreads. I don't like it. I don't like either side here, Karter. I know you said Commanders. I'm staying away.
If I remember correctly, I think there's only been one Cowboys game that's been decided by a score. I think there was one game where they got blown out, and the rest were them blowing the other team out. So like it is if they do take care of these lesser than teams by a lot. It's not even close. So I think you have a point there. I'm not going to take a spread. I'm not going to take a total. Howell has 3 interceptions, right? All throws down the field. I don't know why I think maybe that they thought they could get away with taking shots further down the field because they are playing the Giants, and that really wasn't the case. I think they dial it back, and they still have that awful offensive line. What was working for them was those quick passes out in the bubble, screens, check downs, because Howell does not have the time to sit back and let the play develop. So
right.
I'm not going to take a side. I'm not going to take a total. I will be keeping a very close eye on Robinson and Gibson receiving props whenever they come out. I think Gibson was out with a toe injury. He's had a bad toe ever since he's been in the league. So Robinson, whenever those come out, probably over receiving yards. Got to go back to the quick plays if you're Washington. And, I think you'll have a decent amount of success against the Cowboys if you can do that.
What's our first touchdown play in this game?
Has to be a Cowboy, right?
Yeah, I think it has to be.
I think if we were really serious about hitting some money, I think it has to be a Cowboy.
Jake Ferguson plus 1,100.
Okay.
Ferguson plus 1,100. Yeah.
Dotson plus 2,000.
Brandon Cooks.
What's Schoonmaker?
Oh.
That's a big weekend for Michigan men.
Only 1,400.
No,
that's not good enough.
Never mind.
Dak? We just go all quarterbacks?
Can't go another quarterback.
Can I say something? This is, we were talking about not saying stuff on recording and having it. I'm going to plant my flag here. Dak Prescott to win MVP. I think he's second or third in overall EPA for quarterbacks. Like, the guy, he could make a run.
Dylan, I have a preseason ticket of Dak MVP. I might need to go find the clip from the preview show, but I actually had that. I can't believe it. Yeah.
Yep, Dak. I think it's like 20-1. Dak to win MVP. Playing it right now.
Sneaky. Cowboys have the easiest schedule in the league.
Yep, 100%.
All right, we got to pick one. Someone pick one. Just say it.
Ferguson. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Ferguson plus 1,100. I love it. All righty there. Plus 1,100. Last game of the night. We'll quickly run through this one. Last game of the night. 49ers Seahawks. Niners by 7. Over under 43, 42.5, depending on where you look. I don't have a super strong opinion in this game. Dylan, I'll let you go ahead and take us through this one.
I agree with you. I don't care. At this point, I will be gearing up for my Black Friday excursion. We'll be heading out to the Fairfield Commons. We'll be stopping at Chick-fil-A on the way to get breakfast, probably a peppermint mocha iced coffee. I don't care about this game, and let me tell you why. I don't like Geno Smith. I am never right about the Seahawks. I don't know why they give me so much trouble. Will I be watching the game? Yes, probably for fantasy implications. But I am going to choose not to care about this game as much as the first two. This is at the point of Thanksgiving. We don't have to edit this out. This is my family's. I'll be at my family's for Thanksgiving. My grandparents love to keep the house at like 75 degrees, and then you add on the ovens that are running and the food that's just been cooked. This is like open the window and watch the game as you're trying not to die of heat exhaustion. So my focus is going to be not dying, not so much watching this game.
It'll be watching this game for me. And college basketball. Do the whole 9 yards. I don't have a take on the spread on either side of this one. If I had to lean aside, I'd probably go Niners. Just ride the Niners till they die. They're so good. I was mainly just considering a first touchdown play. The two I looked at were Jackson Smith and Jigba and Brandon Ayuk.
I like it.
Go. Oh.
What's Charbonnet? What's Charbonnet?
Charbonnet.
Oh, yeah, that might be a good play.
800.
What?
Well, Walker might be out with the oblique injury. That's probably why the line's like that.
But I was hoping that they were accounting for him to play, and then we could get it, and then it come out that he's not.
What about McCaffrey plus 300? We just keep riding it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
think that's the right play. That's one of the ones where the first two long shots don't hit, so you got to go back to the well for the night game. I think that's classic.
McCaffrey plus 300. That's our first touchdown play. Go ahead, Connor.
Real quick on this game. I don't lean aside either. I like the under. I got it at 43.5. I don't trust this Geno and the Seahawks offense against the Niners defense. And it just seems like one of those games where I don't know if Purdy throws a pick, but just maybe a red zone mistake or a couple red zone turnovers. Geno to throw a pick, I think, is free money. And it's 43.5 right now. I think this is one of those games where Niners win like 24-10, 24-13, and it just ends under 40. So give me the under.
Dylan,
I'm going to counterpoint that real quick. 49ers could have like 3 defensive scores.
That's true. But I don't know.
I'm not betting any side, but just
especially if Geno's not 100%, maybe he gets hurt, and then Drew Lock comes in. Drew Lock, every time he plays, he's begging to throw a pick six. You're just watching, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's right there. Pick six right there. Every time he throws the ball. I get so excited because I had the Rams yesterday. So
yeah, me too. And then Geno dragged himself back on the field.
I'm an idiot. I had money line and the 1.5. Why not just take the money line? Just take the money line, you idiot.
Who'd you have?
Rams minus 1.5 and Rams money line. So
did it close minus 1.5?
2.5.
Oh, I had Rams plus 1.
Yeah,
I had plus 3.
Wow. Yeah,
no, it closed at 2.5.
Wow,
yeah, closing line value. There you go. That's why you check out Dylan's live stream on Mondays at noon usually. Black Friday. Yes. Dolphins Jets.
Oh yes, I forgot we have a Black Friday game.
We have a Black Friday game that is at 3 p.m. Eastern. My time zones are all screwed up. So Dolphins minus 10, 9.5, or wherever you're looking, over under, whatever. Who cares? The biggest story in this game is Zach Wilson is benched. It's over. His time in New York is clearly done. This is it. We've seen it. I think I should have to make an opening statement. I called Grant, actually, on my way home to come record. I called Grant. I said, Grant, we need you on the podcast today. He couldn't come on. Had something going on. I think he's lying about what he had going on. I don't think he wanted to come on because he didn't want to face the music about Zach getting benched.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Grant, not a good look, man.
How many PTO days are we giving out at the Karter cast? This dude's been on extended leave.
That's what I'm saying. We got to start taking away paychecks.
I know.
Having unlimited PTO here at the cast is a bad idea. A bad idea.
Screw a happy workplace. Employee work-life balance.
I have a lot. I purchased a lot of Zach Wilson stock. I never sold. I sold a little bit. Hedge my bets, but not a lot.
And no one's getting Christmas gifts.
And not this Christmas. We're hoping for next Christmas, but there's it's like Dogecoin. It just died. It's just gone. It's just these crypto things. Zach Wilson, that's a good comparison. It's just Zach Wilson was just NFTs where it just exploded for no reason. All of a sudden, it's like, what the crap is this? Like this small quarterback from BYU who hasn't played anybody, like he's gonna be awesome. Like, oh, let's go, let's buy. And then people realize, like, what is this offer? What am I getting out of this deal? And just died, and everything went to crap.
And then it gets so low, and then he beats the Bills when Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, beats the Eagles. It's like, oh my God, he actually made a few plays. He might be back. And then it just plummets even more to the floor.
It looked amazing against Taylor Swift on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah,
I know.
Made some plays, talked yourself into it. No, we're back to zero.
Bad day, sad day for the Zach Wilson stock buyers. The shareholders are pissed. It's bad now. But Tim Boyle starting for the Dolphins. This is a weird game. Dolphins by 10. I don't like the Dolphins getting a lot of points anymore. Like we saw that against the Raiders. Like they can't be favored by this much. What a weird game. They're traveling on the road to New York on Black Friday in the afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern in the Meadowlands. This is just an odd game. Dylan, do you have anything on this game?
I don't have anything, no. I want to give credit to Robert Saleh for you have to give the guy credit for how much he backed up Zach when he knew that he was not that confident in him. I mean, he would go to every presser and say, Zach's the guy. Zach has played much worse games. This is not the worst we've seen from Zach. And then all of a sudden, just at a flip of a hat, it's the new guy. It's next guy up. So I don't hold that against Saleh. I think that's a good not quality. Yeah, I guess it is quality. A good quality to have if you're a head coach. I just, Black Friday, I just can't help but imagine Coach McDaniel showing up in like a whole new fit that he got maybe, 6 hours before the game started, some doorbuster at Saks Fifth Avenue, and he just showed up just completely chained out with a Gucci necklace. Like, that is the type of stuff that I want to see from this game. I'm not as interested in betting or watching this game. I just want to see what McDaniel shows up in.
I have nothing on this game.
I just want to add to the Zach Wilson discourse. I think Dylan's right about Robert Saleh sticking with Zach Wilson through it all. That's what you're supposed to do as a coach. You have your guys back no matter what, even when the whole world knows he's not the guy. But it was time for a change. And if we're talking about who gives you the best chance to win a game, it probably is Zach Wilson over Tim Boyle at this point. But they had to make a change. You got to save face. With the fan base, everybody's calling for it. You have to try something different because eventually Saleh's going to ride with Zach Wilson, and then all of a sudden the ownership's going to be like, this guy's really blind. Like, he won't even make a change even though he's been this bad. And then that cost him his job. So you got to make a change. You got to save face with some of the fans, at least for a couple weeks. Be like, we're trying something new now. We're not going to go down with the sinking Zach Wilson ship. And then, Aaron Rodgers coming back in 2 weeks. I'll believe that when I see it. I don't believe that in the slightest. I think making the change was the right move. I don't think Tim Boyle necessarily gives you a better chance to win, but you had to do it. That's all I want to say.
What do we think about DraftKings offering only yes prices?
I saw that.
For Aaron Rodgers to record another snap. That's robbery. That should be illegal.
There's literally bait. It's bait. But you know what? If you're dumb enough to bet it, then you deserve to lose your money.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. So, I agree with you 100%. And you get a big, handsome guy like Robert Saleh go up there, not big in stature, and say that. And then you got Bill Belichick hurdling over a microphone saying, well, I don't really know if Mac's going to be the guy. I don't know if Mac's going to be the starting quarterback. So I'm with you. I'll take Saleh every day over that.
Two things on the Zach Wilson thing, and we can move on. One, you knew when he fell over his own feet, it was over.
That was brutal. That video was brutal.
Clip.
That's when you know that his Jets career was over, was when he fell over his feet. And two, Robert Saleh trucked him yesterday.
No, that was an embrace. That was an embrace.
That was a, hey, come here, I got you. Your time's over. Just hug it out. Yeah, of course. Is that the last game we see Zach Wilson in a Jets uniform, barring an injury to Tim Boyle? Okay,
absolutely. I want to see him in Atlanta. Funny enough, I would love to see him back up the Niners. Just him be a backup, and then I can talk myself into Zach Wilson being good again.
Well, then it becomes, no more Sam Darnold over Brock Purdy. Then it's, would Zach Wilson be a better fit in this system than Brock Purdy? And then the TikTok blows up.
Tell me Zach Wilson doesn't fit the Niners.
He doesn't fit the Niners. He doesn't fit anybody.
He fits the Niners.
He'd look goofy in that uniform. That's what I'll say.
And then or the Falcons where he plays with Tyler Algier again. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself.
With Zach out of the league, who's going to keep making the footballs?
Garrett's taking over the ship.
You're right. Garrett's taking over.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson, actually. Danger Russ is making the balls. Bills Eagles at Eagles. Last game we're going to talk about, and then we'll do parlays, and then we'll move on to college football. Bills Eagles. I'm seeing the spread at what? 3.5, 2.5.
Eagles 3.5. Yeah.
Eagles 3.5 over under 47.5. Dylan, I'll let you go.
5-star play. This is the perfect opportunity. I'm not high on the Eagles. I think we all know that. They've gotten away with games. They've won games they had no business winning, and everybody is just taking turns dumping on the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen has an awful game in primetime, which we've been on this show before, saying that now that Kirk is injured, Josh Allen is the new Kirk Cousins, not being able to play in primetime. But the Bills quietly, you play at 1, you play at 4, they just obliterate these teams, right? This is the perfect time to buy low on the Bills. I don't think that the Bills are 3.5 points worse than this Eagles team. They have the 11th ranked, I think, PFF graded defense. Overall, PFF has them 6th ranked. Like, this Bills team is not – they didn't just magically get so much worse than the team last year, right? Their slip-ups. Allen is throwing interceptions, something that isn't new. He's done that his whole career. This is the perfect time to buy stock in the Bills because it's at an all-time low the last 2 years. So I love the Bills to cover 3.5. I love the Bills to win outright. To be clear, the 5-star play is to cover the 3.5. And between you and I, between us three, Trust Tree, we had those ESPN free bets. If you bet anything, you get $4 $50 free bets. Bills to win the AFC East was one of those placed.
I love it. The other thing I wanted to add here is game starts at 4:25. It's not prime time.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This Bills team, in all seriousness, you guys can't think this Bills team is really as bad as people are making them out to be. The turnovers are bad, but they haven't made that big of a jump down.
Someone here said they weren't making the playoffs.
Well, that was before Joe Burrow went down. And now the Bengals are completely out. So don't give me that. Don't give me that. Because my whole thing was the Bengals are going to get in and the Bills aren't getting in.
I was getting texts all weekend last week. Oh, my Bills take's not looking so bad. Oh, Bills take. And then, crickets on the old telephone this weekend. Little crickets, nothing.
There was crickets because they lost the Broncos. And all of a sudden Burrow goes down Thursday night.
They pooped on the Bills. Or the Jets, sorry.
Oh, they pooped on Tim Boyle and Zach Wilson. That's a big accomplishment. No, I'm not going to sit here and slander the Bills because this is the perfect spot. Dylan, I'm aligned with you. I love them at 3.5. I think tonight the Eagles are going to come out. Who knows what happens tonight? They could come out, put on a good show against Kansas City. Hopefully it's a good game. Either way, this is the buy low spot for the Bills. This team is not as bad as people are saying. And now with Burrow out, AFC's wide open. I think Houston has a chance to get in. I think Buffalo has a good chance to save face and sneak in as a 6 or a 7 seed. I think this is the good buy low spot. And the Eagles have been coasting along. Karter, you compare them to the Warriors of the regular season in the NBA. They've been coasting along, beating teams, but not convincingly, not covering a lot of the time. They'll be fine come the playoffs, but eventually that wake-up call is going to come. And I think it has a good chance to come against this Bills team.
Yep, I 100% agree. I'm on the Bills. You guys mentioned all the reasons. I don't need to repeat them. Before we move on, we're recording right now. It's Monday afternoon. We haven't watched Chiefs-Eagles. Big game, biggest game of the year, best primetime game we've had, or we're going to have all season probably. We need to do some predictions. So if you're listening to the show right now, it's Tuesday, you already know the result, but then we can clip stuff and, pretend that we did well, Dylan, I'll let you start.
Guys, I can't believe they let Taylor have that much to drink in the box. I mean, that's just irresponsible. They need to put a drink limit.
She's not at the game. She's not at the game.
I thought we just talked about she was going to be there.
The parents.
The parents are going to be there and not Taylor.
Yeah.
Yes, she's in Brazil. She's performing in Brazil.
Okay.
That's what stats department told me.
All right, take 2.
Yeah, take 2. Well, I don't know. Can someone else go? Gosh, dang it.
Okay, all right. You ready? 3, 2, 1. I cannot believe that Mama Kelsey and Taylor Swift's dad were sitting that close next to each other in the box. Are you kidding me right now? Like, the level of disrespect. No, actually, no, I hate that. Cut that out.
That was great. No,
I can't do that.
Good. That was really good.
That was so good. That
All
was
right,
so good.
Let me do it one more time. Then.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I'll count it. 3, 2, 1. I cannot believe that Mama Kelsey and Papa Taylor Swift were sitting that close together in the booth. I mean, that was so crazy. They were sitting right next to each other. It's like their parents are already best friends. I mean, this is a match made in heaven, written in the stars. Can you believe it, guys? I mean, this is all I care about.
That was great. That was.
Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
great.
you.
All right, 3, 2, 1. That cat fight between Mama Kelsey and Mama Swift. That was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my whole life. I mean, when Mama Kelsey hair pulled Taylor Swift's mom, that was unbelievable. I think Kelsey's mom was probably minus 200 going into that fight, but that was incredible.
Because you say there's some bad blood now, Karter. Some are saying.
Ooh.
Dylan, it's your turn now. It's your turn.
I don't know what to say, guys. We can only wish that Jalen Hurts has a speedy recovery. That tackle that he took was
Oh my!
What do you want me to do? I don't know what to do. Guys. You guys are taking the Taylor Swift stuff. I can't believe Joe Buck just said that live. I cannot believe he let that slip.
That's so good. Yes. All right, do it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Guys, I can't believe Joe Buck let that slip on television. I mean, there's a lot. You cannot say that in that spot. That's like
Chris Broussard. That's like a Chris Broussard moment. I'll say it. Yeah, I'll say it.
He Broussarded himself. I mean, Joe, you've been in the business a long time. You got to tighten it up a little bit, bud. We can't be pulling any of that fake sideline reporter stuff. Only the highest credentials here at ESPN and ABC.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're Aikman, how do you not say something right after that? Come out with some sort of backtracking statement. Because you're aligned with that guy if you're in the booth with him. So it's hard to differentiate the two.
Can we start a conspiracy? Troy doesn't want to be partners with Joe. That's why he let it slide.
Oh,
he wants Joe out.
Trouble in paradise.
He wants Peyton in the booth,
Bristol.
and he wants Joe doing Manning cast with Eli.
Little trade.
Start another conspiracy.
Of course.
Maybe Joe Buck wants John Gruden back.
Wow.
Well, they want John Gruden as the analyst.
Wow.
That would
Right.
certainly would be a combo. Yeah. Wow.
We'll see what gets left in here. If you're listening, that was probably fantastic. What a segment that was.
Yeah.
What a segment that was.
Put that one in the vault. We'll bring that out. Yeah.
That's whenever we get big enough when we go subscribers only on Twitter. That'd be like, you'll get the deleted scene.
Oh yeah,
the blooper reel.
The Patreon the Patreon would get wild.
But you have to sign a waiver saying you can't report anything we say behind the scenes. So get us in trouble. Yeah, NDA. Yeah, exactly.
NFL parlay, my pick: Panthers Titans over 37.
Oh
wow!
I like it, Karter. I like that. I didn't expect that. I'm going the opposite direction here. I'm going Chiefs Raiders under 44.5. Under 44.5.
Dylan,
can we do Thanksgiving?
No.
Saints first half money line minus 110.
Oh, and Omen to Grant.
Yep.
I will never rip on the fact of betting against the Falcons and Desmond Ritter. So I like it.
Exactly. You only get so many times in your life to do so. NFL parlay: Panthers Titans over 37. Chiefs Raiders under 44.5. Saints first half money line. Anything else in the NFL before we move on?
No, I think that about covers
Dog
it.
rankings Sunday night,
Okay.
Dylan. We'll have it. Spreadsheet ready. It's time. College football.
Play the trumpets.
Thanksgiving week, rivalry week. Michigan, Ohio State. The over-under's 47.5 right now. Michigan minus 3.5. We're losing Dylan real quick. I'll keep the intro going.
You're good. You keep going.
I can't believe this game. I'm so excited for this game.
This is going to be the
hot takes. I have some hot takes about this rivalry, but we'll get that figured out later. We got the Michigan man, Dylan himself. I'm a Michigan man. I've been a Michigan man all year, even though Dylan thinks I'm anti-Dylan, anti-Michigan. I've been all in on this Michigan team. Dylan, your time to shine.
It's been a season full of trials and tribulations, right? You know, at first they want us gone because of
roller coaster. Use the roller coaster term. It's
been a roller coaster. Yeah. It's been a roller coaster where we actually started on a downslope somehow. Like we went and then it wasn't even like an uphill. It was just down. We managed to power through adversity. We beat every team by what it feels like 4 bajillion points. Then they say we don't play anybody. Right? First we get in trouble for cheeseburgers. Then, you guys haven't played anybody. UNLV currently 9-2, sitting very close to the top of the Mountain West. Bowling Green beats Georgia Tech, who beat some other ACC team. And ECU I can't say much about. And then the Connor Stallion stuff comes out, and they say, Michigan's cheating. Well, wait, we knew they were cheating. We changed our signs before they played us last year. We gave TCU Michigan signs. No one can do any wrong except Michigan. And this is what it all comes down to. Jim Harbaugh will not be there on the sidelines. He's helping the team prep, but it will be Sharon Moore coaching again. The game is the game, right? This is the last time that the game's probably going to be for a playoff spot, at least this obviously, because starting next year, we're going to have 12 teams, and there's a very good chance that both of these teams will already have their spot locked in. The game means a lot. Crying Ryan, you got Ohio State alumni going around taping over every Michigan or every M on campus. You got Michigan men, Michigan graduates out there curing cancer. I'll let you decide what's more important. This is the first year in the last 3 years I have felt so confident that Michigan is going to steamroll Ohio State, and it's not even going to be close, right? The last 2 years we beat them by 2-3 possessions. This game is going to be so ugly. There will be Ohio State fans that don't watch the second half. They will go finish their Black Friday. No, it's Small Business Saturday. They're going to make their way down to whatever. Abby just texted me. She disturbed me in the middle of this rant. Gosh, dude. They're going to be small business supporting whatever. Small Business Saturday. The game will be over, I would say, probably by 12:45.
Wow.
It's not going to be close. I'm not betting on it, obviously, because I will be tied up into it emotionally. Congrats to Michigan in the playoffs for a third year in a row. Final score prediction? Is that what you guys are waiting for?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what we've been waiting for.
Exactly what we're waiting for.
Yep.
65-21, and 2 of those touchdowns will be in the fourth quarter with our third string defense in.
Oh my gosh. Carter, before I let you jump in here, first of all, bold prediction, Dylan. I'm shocked to hear you go that far. On the show, noted rivalry, me and Carter, Carolina Duke, Carolina beat Coach K. That was like one of the biggest things in the rivalry. So that's where I want to go to, is on this rivalry, Dylan. You mentioned it. Probably the last time that this rivalry is for a playoff spot. So whoever comes out on top here, I know Michigan's won the last couple of years, but if Ohio State does come out on top here, is that viewed in a different light, much more heavily, as kind of like the bookend to the rivalry?
Absolutely not. We didn't have our head coach. I mean, they should have won.
Okay. So there's
they don't.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with you, Connor. I think it is.
I think it means more.
I think it is that Carolina Duke Final Four where this is kind of the trump card.
Yeah, because it's always going to be, because whenever me and Carter argue, it's always going to be, we ended Coach K's career in the Final Four, beat him in the Final Four, beat him in his last home game. No matter what, I'll always say that. If Ohio State wins, it's going to be the last year of the 14 playoff. We kept Michigan out. We beat you guys. Now you have to wait for a 12-team playoff to get back in. And even though it could be accurate or not, Dylan, you have to be a little worried about that. This game might mean a little bit more.
I'm more worried for the Ohio State fans when we absolutely bludgeon them without our head coach, and all of these people around this area are just going to start calling for Ryan Day's job, that this is going to be the last game meaningful game that Ryan Day coaches, because this will keep them out of the playoffs. They'll be in Nashville playing the Music City Bowl, maybe Cheez-It Bowl or something like that. That is what I'm more worried about, is the legacy that Ryan Day is going to leave for these wonderful people in Columbus, right? I mean, these people deserve to be winners, but Michigan, they just come into town, and this year they got to go to Michigan, but last year they just come into town and they say, hey, if it wasn't for Utah, Columbus people should be more fans of the Utah Utes than the Ohio State Buckeyes, because that's the reason they got in the playoff last year. I don't like doing this. Like, this isn't a fun thing for me. I love these people. They're my family. They're my friends. But it's just what has to happen, and I feel bad for him. I feel bad for crying Ryan. Zach Smith, I don't feel bad for. Sexually assaulted his wife, by the way. But, yeah, I feel bad for these Columbus people, these Ohio State fans.
All right.
It is kind of funny Zach Smith wants to go after Harbaugh and Stallions about stealing signs when, let's not forget Urban and his wife helped him cover up for a crime.
All right. Well,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, nope.
Strong words.
It's
Dylan,
hot in here. I'm taking this off.
Dylan, do facts care about your feelings?
Never do. Ever.
There you go. That's our answer. Is it crazy to me that the best offense either of these teams have faced this year is probably Maryland?
I don't think that's crazy, though. I don't think that's too crazy, though. I think they're like top 25 in pass yards per game.
Outside of Maryland?
And that's after playing both of those defenses. That taints those stats.
Yeah, they put up some points.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, after Maryland, what's the best offense either of these teams have played?
I mean, your mind jumps right to, like, Penn State, but we saw what they did against good competition.
Notre Dame?
I mean, Notre Dame. I seriously, I'm not even trying to be funny here. The hat's off or whatever. Western Kentucky might be one of the best offenses that Ohio State's played. Like, not even being funny.
No, but that's my point. That's why I brought this up.
Let me look through the schedule. I'm looking at Michigan's right now. UNLV, juggernaut in the Mountain West. People want to keep writing that off. Nebraska, yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of offensive prowess there.
I know, but there's not a lot in this game either. I guess you could say both sides. I mean,
hopefully JJ McCarthy doesn't have to throw more than 20 times. We might be on here playing a little funeral song for the Wolverines.
Dylan, going through my prep here. Some things I had. This is the game if we find out if Connor Stallions mattered.
No, I completely disagree with that.
Yes.
I completely disagree with that. No, I will literally I will screenshot you an excerpt from the Columbus Dispatch last year where Ryan Day said that they knew we had the signs and they changed them, and we still mollywopped them at their place. Like that, this whole Connor Stallions, that is so blown out of proportion because not only did the teams know that this was going on and they changed their signs, they corroborated with teams around them to make sure that everybody knew we had their signs, and they all changed them up. Like that was a worry for me at the very beginning. Once the news started coming out, that is not a worry for me. And this whole JJ McCarthy passer rating win blitz thing since Connor Stallions left, that is a coincidence, right? Because do you know what game they coincidentally left off of that stat? Penn State.
Love it. I love it. Dylan,
I love when Dylan plants his flag on something like this, especially when it's something personal, because if Michigan comes out and steamrolls Ohio State, the clips are going to be outrageous. I mean, there's going to be victory laps. There's going to be quote tweets. There's going to be... All right.
Dylan, Connor, what's your pick in this game?
I'm with Dylan. I don't know if it's going to be 65-21 like you said, but I like Michigan to cover here. I really do. I think it's going to be closer than a blowout, but I like Michigan to win by 7 or more. I really do. I think they're just the better team.
Are you thinking more 72-21?
I was thinking more maybe like a 31-20.
We'll do score predictions. We'll make that a clip, and then that'll just be hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Dylan, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dylan, I think no matter what comes out of my mouth, you are going to hate what I say. Because you're anti-Karter. People need to know
No,
that.
You're anti-Dylan. You say you're a Michigan man, but you're not. You get faulty and your faith wavers when things get tough.
Oh my gosh. No, Dylan. No. I've been with Michigan this whole time. The only knock I've said on them is their schedule.
Yep. And that's the
only knock.
I'm not going to say you don't know ball, but that is the easy thing to say when it comes to Michigan.
Dylan,
that's the only thing people have.
Dylan, I think my fate's going to falter again. I'm sorry. It's Michigan minus 3.5. It's Michigan minus 3.5, baby. They're dominating Ohio State. I went through the stats, Dylan. Michigan's winning. Michigan's going to win. Oh, baby, they're going to win.
Walk me through the stats. What did the stats say?
Kyle McCord.
Did the stats tell you the same thing they told me as in Ohio State can't run the ball?
That exactly. Nice. Okay. And you know what's going to happen is? This is the least talented quarterback Ohio State has had maybe since 2010. It's been a long time since they've had a quarterback probably this not talented. I guess that's a bad way to say it, but they're going to force Kyle McCord to throw the ball. Kyle McCord has turned the ball over in over 50% of his road games, and they've played against bad teams like Purdue. And one of those games that he didn't get a pick was Purdue. 3 out of 4, he threw a pick in the Notre Dame game. He didn't throw a pick because he just had to hand the ball off every time. Yep. He's going to be forced to throw in this game on the road. Kyle McCord to get an interception is going to get played on my card. I don't know what the weather is in Ann Arbor. Need to find out.
It's bad. It's bad. It was like 3 degrees a week ago, and now it's like 43 and sunny. Not good. Not good for Michigan.
Is it though? Then they get to make Kyle McCord pass the ball. This is going to force him to throw the ball more. They're already going to try and establish the run. And if Michigan's run defense is as good as we think it is, they can stop that and force Kyle McCord to throw the ball.
I'm not going to get into the weeds very much here with in-depth Michigan talk, but Mikey Sainer still had 2 interceptions last week. Like, just face guard Marvin Harrison Jr., throw Mikey Sainer still on Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe have Will Johnson go in and help out, double team him. Just take him away. Keep him. I don't care about Cade Stover. I don't care about Egbuka. You keep Marvin Harrison Jr. in his own little corner all game. They're not going to be able to run the ball. That is what has to happen. And I think that will happen.
I think you guys highlighted it. McCord is not good enough to stray away from the game plan like that and kind of improvise on his own. He can't scramble out and make the play MTP like Dylan says. He just doesn't have that in him. And I think if they do take away Marvin Harrison, if they get him off his game plan of like what they're scripted to do, I don't think you can trust him. And I don't think they're good enough to get Michigan off their game plan. I think Michigan's going to ground and pound, and they're just the better team. I really just think they're the better football team. It's very simple.
Counterpoint, Dylan, I do want to ask this question. Some are asking. I'm not asking because I'm a Michigan man. My fate doesn't falter.
Okay.
J.J. McCarthy, what's going on?
Some are saying he was the Heisman favorite not too long ago. By default.
Some are saying very noteworthy people, very prominent people in the biz, Brian Valderez, saying J.J. McCarthy sucks.
Oh.
He might be a casual. Jury's still out, but Brian might be a casual.
Might need to write down the time code to this.
Very easy to sit here and say, look at a box score and say, oh, well, McCarthy threw an interception against Maryland or, didn't pass the ball in the second half against Penn State. The fact of the matter is he doesn't need to. Like, that's not Michigan football. We're not going to air the ball out. Now, there's special cases like Ohio State last year where, guys just get wide open. No one within a country mile of I'm blanking, Andrew Anthony, and you got to pass the ball because the guys are so wide open, and Michigan is so good at blowing Ohio State's coverage and getting these guys open to where, guys, I don't want to overreact here. I don't want to beat a dead horse. Wide open. No one within a country mile of these guys. You have to pass the ball. But
the thing is, you have to admit, though, this Ohio State defense is very different from last year.
And, guys, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but last year, wide open. No one in the vicinity.
Different.
Continue, Karter.
It's different.
The defense is very different. That's right. And it is a completely different Ohio State team than what we saw the last 2 years. I've said it once. I'll say it again. They go out after 2021. They go out and hire the best defensive coordinator they could in Jim Knowles from Oklahoma State. They go out and get him. He didn't make any improvements last year, but this year is when we see it. They look great in coverage. They look all right against the run. The defense has stepped up in a very big way. I'm not doubting that. The difference is they completely substituted that for a bad quarterback that can't throw the ball. And you can point to his stats and you can say, oh, well, he has X yards, X touchdowns. Who have they played, right? Purdue, a lot of those stats came against Purdue, who's statistically the worst pass defense in the Big Ten. Notre Dame, they barely beat. It took 10 men on the field on defense on the last play of the game for Ohio State to beat Notre Dame. Penn State, whatever you want to say, we beat them by more than Ohio State did. Decent defense, actually. You'd be surprised how good their defense is. But I hear what you're saying. The defense is great. I don't think it's going to matter. It will very much be played on the – well, I don't even know because you think Travion Henderson, right? Ohio State running back. You think Mayan Williamson. You think these guys are great. These guys are great running backs. They're not. You look at their stats. Travion Henderson missed half the season. They're like 60th, 70th in rush yards per attempt. They aren't running the ball in big chunks. They're going to have to resort to the pass, and I don't know where they're going to pass the ball to, right? You cover up Harrison. I don't know. Michigan. I've never been this confident about it.
All right, here's the clip. Score predictions, Connor.
I don't know if it's going to be a blowout like Dylan's insinuating. My score prediction, Karter, is going to be Michigan 31, Ohio State 20. I think Ohio State keeps it close, but I think it's one of those games where it never feels like Michigan's not in control. Much like that Penn State game, I think Michigan's going to be in control the whole game. There's never really going to be a doubt they're going to win. I like 31-20 Wolverines. That's my prediction.
Dylan.
Michigan 65, Ohio State 21.
Wow.
No elaboration.
Take the over.
I'm going Michigan 34, Ohio State 17.
Double them up.
Michigan by double digits in all of our predictions. This could backfire.
Yeah,
this won't backfire. There's no way.
I don't like Karter being on him.
Oh no, anti-Karter rhetoric.
I don't like Karter like them to win national title. I don't like Karter saying they were going to go undefeated before the season. They're 11-0 going to the last game, and they're favored in this game. And Karter hasn't been on Michigan all year. Blah, blah, blah. Tired of it. I'm tired of it, Dylan. We're running out of time, so no college football playoff talk today. Quick college football parlay. I have my pick. It's going to be Utah, Colorado over 52.5.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, I think Utah might put up the 52.5 themselves. Exactly 52.5. It might push.
You want me to go next here?
Mm-hmm.
I've got Maryland money line. I'm going back to the well. They're playing Rutgers. And I know Dylan just made the little comment about their defense. I like Maryland here. I think Tua's little brother, can't say his name very well. I think Tua's little brother, Talia Tagovailoa, he's going to have he's going to have a big game, last game of the year. Also, sneaky, trying to make this good vibes for my Maryland win total bet to start the year. So need this game right here.
It's so funny that Maryland's not in the ACC anymore, but their football team plays just like an ACC team.
That is so true.
So well, like they just look like an ACC team when they play. When then they go into Big Ten games and actually score points, it looks so wrong. Put Maryland back in the ACC. Dylan, what's your pick?
Oh my gosh!
Oh, Ohio State money line. All right, that's an interesting parlay.
I'm going Washington State plus 18.5. I think they beat Washington.
Washington State plus 18.5?
Yes.
I like that. I've been on the wrong side of Washington way too long now. I'm tired of being on the this is TCU last year. They are TCU 2.0. I kept fading TCU at the end of the year. Their spreads were weird, and I was like, no, TCU is not good. I know they're not good. And eventually, I'm just going to be right on Washington. Eventually, I'm going to be right. They're in
due time.
Washington State money line. Who says no?
I love it. I already bet it.
College football parlay this week: Washington State plus 18.5, Colorado, Utah over 52.5, and Maryland money line. That's kind of a fitting parlay, for the last regular season. We kind of need it. Did we want to do an upset one or just move into the Thanksgiving draft?
Let's go Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I agree.
All right, Thanksgiving draft. Connor, take us away. Give us the topics. Let the people know what we're doing.
So looks like, from what I understand, Thanksgiving draft here. We got 4 rounds. We're each gonna pick a food. So a food you love, food that's just crucial at Thanksgiving, just something you hold near and dear to your heart. Then we're going something you're thankful for. So it's Thanksgiving. We're not gonna be all cheesy and be like, oh, friends and family and fellowship. No, something else about the holiday you're thankful for. Then we're gonna go one bad thing about Thanksgiving. It's not all roses these holidays. So there's always something bad, a drawback. Go ahead, Karter.
Should bad thing be? Should we switch that to overrated?
No, I don't know. I have a bad thing.
Okay.
Well, we can put a slash. Bad thing, overrated.
We'll keep
same
it
boat.
Thing. I like it.
And then fourth round, last one here. Steelers' choice. We're going miscellaneous. Ooh. We're going whatever you want to do. It could be a good thing, bad thing, something about the holiday. You just got to explain yourself. So that's what we got. That'll be the final round.
All right, let's start the draft. The order: Connor, then me, then Dylan. Snake back around like the classic drafts we did all summer. Also, it's not category by category. You can pick anything. So if you want to go food first or thankful first, bad thing, whatever, it doesn't matter. Connor, start us off 1-1.
All right, this is going to be a sleeper 1-1 pick, guys. I'm going off the discourse here. Yeah, take 2, exactly. I'm going bad thing for my number 1 pick. And my bad thing about Thanksgiving is the moment of realization where you realize you ate too much at your first Thanksgiving meal, and there's only 2 hours till the next one, and you're absolutely screwed. Because, you go in, empty stomach, you're ready at noon, 1 p.m., whenever your first meal is, and you're like, all right, I'm ready to take on the day. Then all of a sudden it gets to like 3:30 and your girlfriend or significant other's like, okay, time to go to my family's house.
Yep.
And you have no room. You have no room for any food, and you have to go over there and you're screwed. And that moment of realization, that's my bad thing about Thanksgiving. That's my 1-1.
That's not bad. That's not a bad one.
Oh man, eating. So what should go on the graphic? It looks like it's going to be eating too much on the graphic.
You got to keep it short because
words.
I know on the graphic maybe it needs to be like
eating too much might help you. Might even help you a little more.
Well, that's the overarching idea is eating too much. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll rock with that.
You know, the explanation for people watching, or if we clip it, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't hate that. I haven't experienced that. I'm a one-trick pony with Thanksgiving. You know, you go to one Thanksgiving, I don't go to multiple. I don't think my stomach could handle multiple because, you know, if I see it in front of me, like I said, I don't go to buffets anymore. If I'm at a buffet, bad things are going to happen. Toilets exploded.
No self-control.
The bidets are going to be overran. We're going to have a flooding from the bidets being used in the Karter cast residence. So, eating too much. I think it's a solid pick. I need to think now. I'm up next. My food one, I'm going to go last because I know it won't get taken.
Same here, I believe.
Yeah, that's strategy.
Yeah, I got a sneaking suspicion that Connors won't be taken.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I'll go thankful. I'm going to say college basketball feast week. It's the best time of the year. I love college basketball feast week. There's games constantly. I don't think you can say take Thanksgiving sports as a whole as like the sports week. I think that's too much to say. So I think you have to be a little more specific. Give me college basketball feast week.
I like it.
And also, I pray to the college basketball gods that I have a positive week. That's kind of why I'm doing this. I need a good omen. Dylan.
I'm going to go bad logistics. It's just a simple matter of fact. It's not one thing or another. It's just you get older, you get significant others, figuring out where you're going to go, the times, how long you're going to spend at each place, what are you going to eat, how much you're going to eat.
Do you have to bring anything?
Do you have to bring anything? Like just figuring all of that out, dividing that up, and then if they're like, that is just a whole level of confusion that opens up, and then you have like, one thing my family does, they've done it in the past, is like I tell them we're going to be there at a certain time, right? And we are on time, and they start before we get there, and everybody's like, where are you? Where are you? I'm like, well, my guys, I told you that we were going to be there at this certain time. So bad, just logistics. The drive, it's like a 2-hour drive to get from where we live to my family's house. I hate the driving. Logistics of Thanksgiving is my first pick for bad.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, that's a 1-1.
Yeah.
That's like one of those.
I go next, right?
Dylan, that's like one of those European prospects that nobody had on their draft board, and all of a sudden it pops up, and it's like, oh my gosh, this dude's going to be an all-star.
What can I say? We like to develop players over here at the Wilkerson residence. Number 2, I'm going to go thankful. I'm going to go thankful, and this is, if any of my family or whatever is watching, this is more of a parody thing. I'm very thankful for all my friends and family and health and everything. Jim Harbaugh
and college basketball feast week.
No, I hate that. Jim Harbaugh. He single-handedly turned this football program around. You flash back to 2015. He inherited bums like Wilton Spate. He inherited bums. You should
have drafted Connor Stallions.
You're right, but I think that there's a clear distinction that needs to be made here. Connor Stallions and Jim Harbaugh operated in separate circles, right? Jim Harbaugh didn't have his hand in any of Connor stuff. Connor didn't have his hand in any of Jim stuff.
I think it's more of a Venn diagram.
Yeah, but with no overlap.
Well, there's a little.
No, guys, it's a very important distinction to make. There is no overlap between Jim Harbaugh and Connor Stallions. So we can appreciate what Connor did, even though he operated allegedly outside of the bylaws of the NCAA. But what Jim Harbaugh did was he recruited, he put in hard work for his team, and he turned this Michigan team into a powerhouse, the face of the Big Ten, number 1 in the country, and made who irrelevant. So I'm going Harbaugh for thankful.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I feel like my random and my bad thing are gonna be end up being the same thing. Let's just make this a bad thing, and then we'll see how I want to do on the random. I'll go bad thing, even though bad strategy by me, because everything, bad things available for the rest of the draft. But,
yeah,
I want to make sure this is second.
Oh, indecisive Dylan, we got him right where we want him.
Oh yeah, this guy's a loser.
Change up.
Oh.
Change up. Food. This is a controversial one. People aren't going to like this. This isn't at every Thanksgiving. Mac and cheese.
Oh, I'm so glad I switched mine last minute. Oh,
It's a staple.
Yep.
You can't go wrong with that. That's a safe pick.
Yeah.
gotta make it right.
That's the 4-year college player of the year that comes in, Wooden Award finalist, so you know what you're going to get. Tough, gritty.
Yeah, if you get a crappy mac and cheese, whoo, that's bad on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Good mac and cheese on Thanksgiving, gotta have it. Connor, you got back to back.
Real quick, quick. What makes a good and bad mac and cheese? Creamy good, baked bad.
I think. Well, it's just there's so much balance to it because you don't want it too creamy. You don't want it overcooked. You don't want the noodles too gross. There's so much to it. But you want the top layer to have a little crust on it, but not too crusted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So Dylan, you're not a big fan of baked.
I like it. I would much prefer there to be some moisture to it.
I agree. I'm on board with that. All right.
Like Chili's mac and cheese might be the best I ever had.
So good. Go ahead, Dave.
All right. So I'm up here. Back to back here. First thing I'm going to go with, something I'm thankful for. I'm going to go leftovers. I'm going to go Thanksgiving leftovers for something I'm thankful for. Because, there's always the cook a meal at home, cook it in the crock pot. You can have it the next day, but you don't always want it. Thanksgiving leftovers, those are elite. Because, if you're far away from your family, you're probably staying at home in your hometown or you're close nearby. You can go back over, have, recap of the night, talk to your family, maybe your grandparents' house, whoever. And the food's just good. There's just good food, and it's Thanksgiving. So there's going to be an abundance of it. There's going to be way too much. Fridge is going to be stocked, and that'll feed you for the next 2 or 3 days. So I love leftovers here. That's my pick for
I love that.
What I'm thankful for. Yeah.
All right, back to back.
Back to back here. Spoiler alert, you guys already heard this one. I'm going food here. And this is going to be controversial, clearly, judging on your guys' reaction. I'm going sweet potato casserole here. And I have a justification for it. People are going to be like, oh, Connor, take ham, take turkey, take green beans. No.
Ham.
Take gravy. No. I'm going sweet potato casserole. It's the perfect role player, the perfect side dish. It complements the main dishes. You got your turkey.
Some say this is a 1-1 pick.
Some would value this as a 1-1 pick. I think I'm getting great value here. Complements the turkey, complements the other side dishes, mac and cheese, green beans. Put that orange sweet potato casserole with marshmallows or pecans or whatever you have on top of it. Get it on your plate. It can also cover up for a bad main dish. Let's say the turkey's dry. Let's say LeBron's missing a bunch of shots in the playoffs. That great role player can cover that up. Mike Miller comes in and hits 8 threes. What a great role player. Sweet potato casserole. What a great roll dish. Guys like Miller, Robert Ory, Malik Monk, some would say. Just great role-playing guys on winning teams. So give me sweet potato casserole for my third pick.
Bad pick.
No, Karter, I think the public's going to be behind me on this because you can't go wrong with that. You can't mess it up. It's the perfect side dish.
But why not just go mashed potatoes?
That's too bland. That's too vanilla for me. I like sweet potato casserole.
I would take mashed potatoes over it any day of the week, 10 times out of 10. I'd take mac and cheese over it 10 times out of 10. I know not everyone does mac and cheese. I'm not a big turkey guy. I think I would even just take the classic turkey. I know we're tipping picks here, but I think there's a lot of other foods that I would take over that.
Sometimes you got to reach. Sometimes you got to reach, Karter, for potential.
Be careful, Karter. In golf, if you tell the other player what club you're choosing, it's a 2-stroke penalty.
Oh.
Just be careful.
Well, if you take my pick, then I'd be surprised.
I'm not taking your pick. You're going before me.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Hey, and then just to make sure, put on the graphic, sweet potato casserole. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, the ones with like the marshmallow on top. Some might say yams. I mean, it's all about the same.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go bad thing, and it's gonna be having to dress up for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's a good one.
You do that?
I don't do that though. Yeah.
No.
Depends where you go. If you go to in-laws, first time meeting in-laws. Okay. Well, good. Okay, you guys have good in-laws then. You guys don't have to dress up for a Thanksgiving dinner, like a formal one?
The only time would be like if we went out somewhere, but we always cook, so.
It's
okay, that's good.
Thanksgiving, it's Michigan gear, non-negotiable.
Oh.
Okay, well that's okay. I think
when you say dress up, Karter, we talking just like khakis and a polo? We talking like a blazer? Yeah. Like what are we okay.
No, not like blazer. Pfft, I don't think I've ever worn a blazer in my life.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm talking, you don't get to wear, jam jams. I want to wear jam jams if I'm going to eat 10,000 pounds of food.
Connor got married in that Carolina Hurricanes hoodie that he wears when he records.
Or one of those Andy Reid Hawaiian shirts.
No, not it was the it was just a Goodwill Duke sweater probably.
Yeah, there you
go. Yeah, I mean, clearly not hitting home here. Some people have to dress up for Thanksgiving to eat. Luckily, you guys don't.
That would be terrible.
It would stink.
Because then you have to unbutton the belt, unbutton the button, because you're screwed. Any tight pants like that, you're screwed.
And I feel like it's normally hot at Thanksgiving celebration. So if you wear a sweater, that's definitely coming off, and you're just rocking the cutoff or the white undershirt, white t-shirt. That is tough. I hear that.
So that was going to be part of my random pick, but I changed it up last second. Was it being too hot at the other person's house for Thanksgiving?
That's a good one.
I hate that. I hate that. That's bad. Anyhow, Dylan, back to back.
Food, we're going rolls. I prefer Hawaiian rolls because they have that little sweet tang to them. And you might be thinking, oh, well, rolls so one-dimensional. Not true. What I do at both Thanksgiving and Christmas is I take the rolls, I throw on a slice of cheese, and then I take my turkey or my ham and I make little sliders. So I don't just have dry turkey. I have a turkey slider with cheese, put some gravy on there or dip it in the gravy. And then you have your sides. So rolls, you can either do standalone, you can do as a slider for your turkey, but rolls, my Thanksgiving food.
Rolls was on my board. That was on my board. I almost went Hawaiian rolls because those are the best. Hawaiian rolls, that's the way to go. Yeah. That is the way to go. 100%. I love it.
And they're 100%. A little more expensive, but if you're not paying for it, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Grandma, I really love these rolls. Yes. Could you please provide them for Thanksgiving? Of course. Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and roll on to my last one, which is miscellaneous. I don't think anybody's going to take this one. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Just an all-time classic with Snoopy whipping up the Thanksgiving dinner. You got the popcorn, the buttered toast, the jelly beans, the pretzel sticks. I mean, just all around a good lesson like all of them have. One of the first integrated cartoons that ever came out was Charlie Brown. Shout out Franklin.
Love some peanuts.
Just all around good holiday. And Thanksgiving's a holiday. It doesn't get movies. It doesn't get specials. So you shout out Charles Schultz for doing that for Thanksgiving.
Dylan, you're going to love my pick here.
What is it?
I have a random, but this is miscellaneous / random. My pick, planning out your Black Friday shopping.
Yes.
What stores you're going to hit.
Getting the crew together.
You like going.
Yep.
You say the logistics are the bad part of Thanksgiving, but you got to figure out the logistics of Black Friday.
But that's good. That's good.
Yeah, you figure out what stores you're going to hit. You figure out what, okay, we got to get breakfast here. You got to go to this time. Oh, this store opens at 8 a.m. This store opens at 6 a.m. You got to hit there. Planning out Black Friday shopping or like scouring online too if you have to.
Yep.
Yeah. Finding the deals.
Real quick, Carter, give me the rough draft of your plan for Friday. Real quick, rough draft.
Okay. Don't know.
Okay. All right.
No clue. Also, it's in-law shopping, so
do the parents go with you?
Game. Don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
This is a decide on Thanksgiving kind of day.
Typically, non-in-law Thanksgiving is you go to the outlets and it's a whole ball game, but different game, different playing field this year.
This is Black Friday shopping is a no oldies allowed event.
It's not gonna be totally young.
Oh,
I do always ask my mom to go. I like going with my mom, but other than that, I guess if my grandma asked me to go,
Meemaws might be there. Meemaws and Peepaws.
I would have my grandma go too. So I guess it's not necessarily a no oldies event. I take that completely back because I would love to have grandma and mom go with me.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Quit being racist towards old people. Dylan or Connor, go ahead.
All right, last pick of the draft here, Mr. Irrelevant. This is my miscellaneous random. Also something I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that Thanksgiving is on a Thursday. That's my pick. I'm glad it's on a Thursday because,
I like that.
Normal workforces work Monday, Tuesday. A lot of people have Wednesday off depending on the field you're in. And then you have Friday off, obviously. Then you have the 2 weekend days. But if Thanksgiving was on like a Tuesday or something, then you would have to go back to work later that week. It would be like, all right, see you back on Wednesday or Thursday. That would be absolutely terrible. And I think this is underrated. People don't think about it enough. It's always the 4th Thursday of the month of November. I love it. I think it's perfect. Gives you that extended time off, something to look forward to. And you don't have to be back at work until, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 3 full days in between Thanksgiving and back at work on Monday. Underrated. Nobody thinks about it. Thanksgiving on a Thursday. That's the pick.
Dang, I think our last round was better than our first round.
That was very good. All around great draft, boys.
I think so too. First round, lights were bright. Got nervous. I didn't know what to do. Last round, we settled in. We were ready.
Any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions.
Oh boy, Black Friday for miscellaneous, but you said that.
NFL games was on my board, but I didn't want to be like, that's like pretty basic and like meh.
Yeah, that's white girl answer, you know.
Yeah, exactly. The parade.
If we want to go topical, I'm thankful for the fact that I did so well last weekend that I have a fully stocked FanDuel account for this week.
Mm-hmm. That's a great one.
Great.
That's a year-by-year basis, maybe a day-by-day basis, yeah.
I do, unless we have more honorable mention, real quick, I did want to hash out, when do we eat? What are our plans individually for Thanksgiving? When do we start eating? What's going on there? I'll start. I'm doing in-laws at noon, leaving at probably 3. My family starts at 5, but I've always been team. You start at noon, you start at 1. And then you just eat throughout the day.
You're not worried about like my pick, like filling up at the early one, and then all of a sudden it's 5 p.m. and you're stuffed.
I'm extremely early. I'm not early. I'm extremely worried about that. But you know what? Somehow every year we power through. We find a way. I don't know how I do it. I amaze myself.
God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Dylan, I salute you.
Dylan, you know what you should do? Just take like an Adderall on Wednesday, and then you're super hungry on Thursday, and you just go to town.
That's great. Or just
the script.
The classic Waffle House the night before, maybe. Who knows?
Hey, let me get Dr. College Basketball to get a prescription for you, all right?
Dr. McCockiner, all right.
Real quick, let's find out. Hey, what time's Thanksgiving? 1.
In Idaho?
1 o'clock. Yes.
How far of a drive?
Going up after we stop hitting the stop record button right now.
Okay, so it's not a day of thing. It's that.
No,
far.
it's a whole ordeal. Whole ordeal. So logistics was a great pick.
That's a great pick. That's funny. As far as I go, Dylan, I'm with you on that. I think we're doing 12:30, 1 p.m. with my family. Be there for a few hours, and then Alexis's family will be about, I think it's 6 p.m. start time. So it's good enough to where it's, because they were pushing for 5. But I was like, can we just maybe do like 6 or 6:30 just to give me that extra hour to kind of deflate?
For you, if they're moving it for you, that's huge. That you're already in there. That is.
I got Alexis to go to bat for me. I was like, look, if we're at my grandparents until 3 or 4, my stomach needs time to recover. So she was like, hey, Mom, can we do it about 6:30? I was like, perfect. That's perfect. So
that's huge.
That's the schedule. Yeah. Two meals though, Karter. I gotta say, you need to try it. It's a haul.
It is
a grind.
It's tough, but it's life changing.
You just do 2 meals regardless. You just do the meal and then the leftovers. Like, it's 2 meals no matter which way you look at it. It's just,
all of a sudden it's halftime of the Niners game and Karter's back in there getting leftovers in seconds and thirds.
Sitting here chugging some mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah,
or some sweet potato casserole.
Touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Cash and Christian McCaffrey touchdown. All right. Anything else?
I'm excited.
I love talking Thanksgiving.
Last question I got for you guys as an overarching topic. Do you guys like that Thanksgiving is this close to Christmas, or would you rather it be like 3 or 4 months in between each one? Because on the one hand, it's the holiday season. Holiday season is a great month and a half. But on the other hand, it's like could give you something to look forward to in the other half of the year. So thoughts?
The last like that 3 weeks in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, or nothing happens anyways at work. So like. Mm-hmm. We're not solving anything, so I like it this close because then hey, the year's over. Once you hit Thanksgiving break, you're like, we made it.
Yeah, I kind of agree, and I think that's just because I'm so used to all the events that happen around it, like Black Friday, the Michigan game. Like I think I'm just used to it. Honestly, if it would have started differently, I probably would feel different. But and then people will want to be like, oh, well, you can't have Christmas. The only bad thing is people say you can't have Christmas stuff up before Thanksgiving, and I say.
How about Halloween? Yeah. My birthday's
in October, buddy.
My birthday's December 21st, so it's just like a bang, 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 like 3 in a row. So this whole season, nothing gets done.
We need to do a whole episode on that, on December birthdays, good or bad thing. Or
I love that. We can have a debate. The only thing that bothers me, real quick, people like not the immediate family, but other people are like, "Here's your birthday and Christmas gift," and it's like, man, if my birthday was in July. I'd be getting mailed something in July and then mail something in Christmas. And then they double it up. That's, as a kid, that really bothered me. Other than that, though, not bad.
But now that you're an adult, it's not.
No,
I don't know.
No, mostly as a kid, it was a problem because people would be gone for Christmas break, and I'd try to have a party, and then, people would be like, "Oh, I'm out of town," so I'd have to have like 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's it from us.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got.
This is gonna be a fun edit tonight. Who knows? We'll see.
Hour 42.
All right. Yeah, there you go. We're at an hour 42 right now. You're probably listening. You're like, it was like an hour 10, whatever. Anyhow, that's it from us. Check out CarterCast.com. CarterCast.com. College basketball picks on there all week long, every single day. I'm going to keep grinding. We're going to get to positive this week for Feast Week, no matter what it takes. It's not looking great to start. Gonzaga's up 10 right now, so bad start. Bad start for the crew. Anyhow, that's it. Michigan, Ohio State, Panthers, Titans. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for the Sunday night recap. Stay tuned for that. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. CarterCast.com, at Connor_Sparrow, at Wilkerson Dylan, at Karter BA, at CarterCast on all social media. Subscribe, rate, review. Subscribe on the YouTube. That's it. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.